What up, people? You're listening to the Atlanta Podcast, where we drink local beer and invite you into our unfiltered talks on news and culture in the city of Atlanta. Now, when I say unfiltered, I mean...
He's trying to say we say fuck a lot.
Yeah, it's rated R for, ribbed for your pleasure.
Oh. Nigga.
You like
No
it, right?
lube, bro?
No? Too much?
All right.
Run it back.
Enjoy the show. What up, people? It's Christian from the Atlanta Podcast. Before we get into this episode, just a little tidbit. Your boys got on a Forbes article because of their collaboration with the very popular donut shop in Atlanta called Sublime Donuts. We're basically coming out with a lemon pepper donut, y'all. A lemon pepper donut. If you haven't listened to the last episode, a portion of the proceeds will go to Bloom, which is a nonprofit organization led by Nash and occasional superstar Fabian Williams, two people who are big in the art community of Atlanta. And what we want to do before you go and get yourself one of those donuts, we want you to understand what Bloom is. So we invited Nash and Fabian back onto the podcast so we can talk about that. And that's what's going to be on this episode today. Please forgive the sound. We didn't have enough mics to go around because, we be fucking up sometimes. But it's still great content like always. Enjoy.
You are now in the mix with the Atlanta Podcast.
All right, people. Welcome to the Atlanta Podcast. It's your boy, Christian.
Justin.
And Myron.
We're talking to you about stuff going on in Atlanta. Before we crack open that beer, we got some special guests in here. We are actually in New with Nash and Fabian Williams. Thank you guys for allowing us in here. Love seeing the art. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Peace to the guys in the earth.
Oh, that was mad black. That was dope, man. I feel like I'm at
Went back to the 90s.
Yes.
Where's the chair?
Right.
I'm kind of like looking for one right now.
Oh, they have multicolored ones now.
Yeah. Oh, do they?
Like
I want an
that.
old one. I like one of them old ornate ones that like
The smell.
are sitting in
It
somebody's
comes with
grandma's
smell.
house.
the grandma, they all got the picture.
Yeah.
The OG on it.
Yeah, I want the OG ones. You know what I'm saying? I want one of those.
I don't want to work with you.
Huh?
Sit next to you. When
When he's just like, Zamunda.
That's honestly some shit I'll probably sit in when ain't nobody here.
If they would have made Black Panther in the 70s,
Yep.
he would have been sitting in a wicker chair.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have like
That's
cushions,
hilarious.
like specifically designed for it and everything.
Yeah.
I'm just making this up right now. Like that's gonna happen.
Oh, exclusive. You heard it here first. You heard it here first.
Wicker
Man
chair
is
like
getting a
nobody
wicker
will ever
chair.
see.
All right, Myron, what we got on tap? I'm thirsty.
I know
Well,
you
you are.
clearly know.
I'm extra thirsty.
Well, actually, Justin, you need to be easy on that thirst, but
I'm not that thirsty.
open your phone.
He be throwing
I'm bumbling.
Right. So we first got on a couple beers from Steady Hand Beer Company. They're up in where are they?
They are over there. What's the Top Golf?
Oh,
They're
and,
right across the street from Top Golf.
Well, Midtown.
Yeah, West Midtown.
Yeah, West
You
Midtown.
talking about this place right here?
Yeah. They're
That's where I met Brandon.
right where all those.
I've never been there. Is
Well,
it good?
that's the place that burned down.
that's
Black
why
owned.
I'm in there.
Joe passed it.
But he's opened back. But that's some of the best barbecue I've ever had.
Oh yeah.
Cool brother.
Two crackers.
Cool brother. Yeah, that shit was delicious.
Damn, didn't get it on mic. It's all right.
I would say too soon, but I don't know what happened.
That's a little soon.
It'll be
It was right when he was up for a James Beard Award too.
Oh, we already know. You already know what that is.
But yeah, So this is the we got 2 beers from Steady Hand. One is their Imperial Coffee Stout, and the other is a toasted coconut blonde called Circles of the Sun. And we have the coffee stout because we have some coffee and donuts, but we'll talk about the donuts a little later.
Shit, we got
Somebody said
donuts?
donuts.
Yeah.
We got donuts?
Donut.
We're gonna talk about that a little later though.
Okay.
Crack these open.
This looks like a root beer
y'all
can.
could have played that up a little more, like
What you talking
y'all,
about?
y'all need to do like a little what's
That's
it
a-
called, CMR or
ASMR, like it's a
Yeah.
donut. Or with
what
the
I say,
cracking
CMR?
sound.
What the f-
What's a CMAR?
No, it's
I have no idea.
It's like
ASMR.
these people that listen to people like making sound
Yeah.
like
Eating honey.
microphone shit.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
eat honey
We
and
talked about that.
breathing and
Y'all
shit.
need to play that up, man. Like
Yeah.
y'all could just have like a whole section like the end of the show for like the freaks.
No, people, it's a thing.
That seemed like
Yeah.
some shit like.
And they be,
people-
you ain't
getting
never
paid.
seen them like eating seafood.
Pickles and
Like,
shit.
look.
The first time I saw that shit, I was like, "What is this ghetto
And
ass
it's
shit
just
that I'm
like-
watching?"
And then you watch it for like 15 minutes later.
Nah. This is what made me like. I got mad because I was like, "Why is she smacking so loud?
Have you
Eating
seen?
loud as shit."
No, yeah,
Yeah,
people
I know,
like the.
but I'm like,
Yeah.
this got to be the most.
Have you
gluttonous
seen
shit.
the one where she eats the squid and he's like,
No.
like flips back?
Yeah,
Squid's about to eat her ass.
Yeah,
it was like a Japanese girl, right?
I was like, she need
Yeah.
help. She
Yo,
need
Japanese
help.
people be doing weird shit with squids, man.
I mean, they be like, I seen some eat it live, eat it like wild.
No, that's the thing. It wasn't.
That's what she
live.
said.
Yo, eat it live.
Yeah, that shit's crazy.
Too much.
Like it's not gonna taste any better.
Too much. Doing too much. You know.
Mom, do not tune in to
That
Eat It
means the
Live.
thing is moving on its way down.
Right. The energy coming out of that is terrible.
She was like
Yeah.
slurping it back and then like went out. And
She
then he
was-
was like, no. It was like a cartoon.
No, that's foreplay. Hold on. No.
I shouldn't have said
Plus,
slurp.
you're not even supposed to do that because you could choke and die because the suckers get stuck in your throat and they'll suffocate you.
Yeah, because the way them tentacles and
Yeah.
little things was like, it was.
You're not, you're not supposed to do that.
Man
I mean, he was like, you bit me.
Excuse me? Say that again, Justin?
No.
He said,
That's
I heard man throat. I don't know what that is, but that sounds
that
like
is
prison
exactly what
shit.
he said.
next question, please.
That's exactly what he said.
No octopus gonna kill me. It's just not happening.
Oh, you got a man throat?
No, look.
A man or a man?
It's not happening.
God damn it.
Wow. Last time we had you on, Fabian, we did have a dark beer. So we got another one. You know, you didn't quite like that other one. So what do you think about this one?
How was it described? The last
I mean, this is
one?
cool. It's like coffee, like, you know what I'm saying? And it's beery.
Oh, shit, you don't like it.
I'm drinking
Wait,
it,
did
man.
you say
The first time we come, he said it tastes like old orange
You
juice.
said, oh,
you can't please it? Hey, he's,
man,
he's very
listen, man.
critical. Just know that.
He said coffee like
But you
I
just
already
said
told
beery.
y'all I'm not a beer guy, so I'll be
that's true.
trying to convert me, but
trying to convert.
But I mean,
I
this
just be-
one does taste like just a lot like straight up cold coffee, right?
it does. Yeah.
does, actually.
Well,
that's what they're going
like
for.
cold coffee soda.
you like it?
Yeah.
Oh,
You know.
Right.
you know, it's not terrible. It's got a no.
damn.
I'm just saying, it got a little zing. It got a little zing.
You 0 for 2,
It
y'all.
got a
So wait a minute.
no.
Wait a minute.
The thing.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. No.
I mean, it's got a little zing on the back end. You know what I'm saying? It's like
9% alcohol.
coffee.
So you'll
It's
be
not-
like
it's not bad.
high and like.
Well, that's what
drunk
we
at
are
the
right
same
now.
time.
So,
Yeah, I'm already high.
so
Sorry, I'm high on the Lord.
Oh, there we go. There we go, brother. There we go.
Mom,
he lying.
she gonna hear this like 10 years from now.
So wait a
Flip
minute.
over
So
a
we,
church table.
we tasted it by itself. It tastes like a coffee with a little zing on the back end, like Ash said, right? But let's taste it.
Oh, we just going right in there.
I mean, might as well.
Y'all want some donuts now?
Yes,
Darkness.
yes.
We got
Isn't that why
coffee
we're
beer.
Here to
here?
have it with.
Isn't that why we're here?
We got coffee, beer, so might as well have donuts with the beer. Christian, what we having?
For those who have listened to the podcast before, we have for Fabian and Ash the lemon pepper donut. It's a donut. It's a special occasion donut you can get at Sublime. Part of the proceeds will be going to Bloom, which we will discuss in a little bit. But for right now, we're just gonna have some donuts. Hey yeah, I wanna shoot, baby.
Oh, is it?
That feeling.
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
Does this? What's the name of it?
They called it the
lemon pepper.
the Atlanta podcast lemon pepper donut, and it's got what is it? It's buttercream, lemon on top. You can do that. You could do that. It's peppery on the inside. It's got filling. And just get in there. Just get in there.
Oh, kick.
So yes, it's a donut shaped in the A with some buttercream icing with lemon zest and gold flakes because we be shining. And then the filling is cream filling with also some more lemon zest and some cracked pepper in there. So lemon pepper.
It's good.
This is
I like the
right.
pepper.
Right?
Yo, y'all don't even know. Man, y'all don't
Banging,
even know.
right?
The pepper. The pepper.
Don't it hit?
I was like, I don't know about the pepper, son.
Right? Did you get it?
But I fucks with it. Like
Y'all
the
don't
pepper
even
and the
know.
cream, I never would have thought that shit.
Right?
It's almost like salty caramel. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
You get a little salty, sweet, a little savory
it's
aspect with the sweetness.
yeah.
It's a lot happening
chicken and waffles.
in your mouth.
Right. Right.
Like it shouldn't go together, but it fucking works.
A lot of yes, but y'all don't even know. I was like, Fabian, guess what? They got a donut and they want to donate a portion. And then he was like, oh, and I said, but it's a custom donut. What kind of custom donut? Lemon pepper wet.
Hey, yo, my boy hooked you up. He made you the lemon pepper joints, but these got the sauce on them.
Oh, snap. Lemon pepper wet?
I don't know about that.
But now that you have it,
I'm a believer.
Before we get into everything,
This is ASMR.
the last time we were here, I want to say your work is very inspiring, and it has inspired us a lot. And the last time we were on here, you were telling us the concept of Bloom, and you said a few things. You said you're willing to partner up with companies that are willing to, be behind you on things, or whoever wants to be a part of it, and by any means necessary. So while we were talking to Kamal, he's all about collaboration donuts, and when it came to talking about like where the proceeds go to, Bloom was the first thing on our mind.
Oh man.
So boom.
So dope.
Thank you, man.
Of course.
Thank
How
you so
was
much.
it?
That was delicious.
Yeah.
Delicious in a way I wasn't expecting.
Right?
Right.
You know? I ain't gonna lie. Like I was like, this is a terrible idea.
Who wants this shit? A lemon pepper donut? What kind of nigga shit is that? Yeah.
Like wait till y'all have the turkey and stuffing done. I was like, ew. But this shit, like, it works.
And it's actually really good with the beer.
Boom.
I did it.
Yeah. Well, it's like
It's like a wine and cheese pairing.
it's
or
like a
something.
late
Is that how
night.
you do it?
Yeah, it's like a late night.
Yeah.
You know,
That's what
I
we
gotta
do.
stay up all night, but I want to have fun,
That's exactly what we do.
and I want to be kind of toe up,
right.
and still get my work done. So like
Exactly.
in the morning, like the table be all crooked,
So the
legs too fat.
Toilet seat, bro. Oh, God, do that.
The bitterness in the beer with the coffee, the roastiness
Yeah.
pairs well with the sweetness,
Yeah.
and that little pepper kick in the. I'm telling
The
you,
pepper cake.
Kamal put his foot.
The pepper cake surprised me the most.
You're a believer now?
I'm a believer. Like I'm a sublimer. That was a piece of art,
Yeah.
for real.
Well,
Like,
he's kind of an artist with his shit.
yeah, because like
don't play.
I was getting hit with a lot of different like tastes. You know what I'm saying? Like the lemon was real.
Was there.
Wasn't expected that. That's the first thing I tasted. Then like the frosting was like kind of mellow and pleasant.
It wasn't overbearing, wasn't too sweet.
Yeah.
Whatever.
And I don't really like filling. I usually don't like filling, but like
Oh, really?
But with the pepper kind of like took the
Extra
the
sweet.
sweet off, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It gave it about. Yo, I fuck with it. Wow. Okay. all right.
It's mellow.
It's like a hangover without the headache.
You know what's interesting too is when we did our Bloom fundraiser, our first big fundraiser for Cherokee Rosewood, Brittany from Millennials from Abram,
Oh yeah, she brought some.
Oh, yeah.
she was like, I brought you guys some donuts, and I made sure it was black owned. And I was like, I fucks with you, Brittany. That's why I fucks with you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she was on the podcast once and told us that she brought y'all Sublime, or she knows Sublime, stuff like that.
Brittany is a down ass woman, man.
Yeah,
That level of consideration, like that was, she's a really big supporter of everything.
Yeah,
so.
we're definitely gonna have her back on
Yeah.
when we talk about the.
Her campaign, Elizabeth for Warren. No, Millennials for Warren. I said.
yeah.
That
Millennials
plus the abortion bill. 'Cause
Oh,
once a
yeah.
year, 3 guys talk about abortion bills.
This is
So,
true.
Yeah,
Even though I'm
we're
like-
about to mansplain the shit out of that.
I was ready to do it.
That would be the most vague interview.
Yeah.
Really, but not really.
Yeah.
But kind of.
I mean,
yeah.
y'all know what that is for.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, rebuild.
You know, there's this movement to get women back in the house barefoot and pregnant. You know what I mean? It's conservative. Like it's like what's that show?
I thought I was trying to get these white numbers up.
Handmaid's Tale. It's Handmaid's Tale shit. You know what I'm saying?
I haven't watched it.
Yeah.
Because like when you talk to them about like why they're doing it, because like life is so precious. It's like, but his kids down in Mexico.
But what
Gotta
about
lock them in
these?
cages like dogs, yo. People give a shit about dogs when they do humans.
Life is so precious. Jose, get in that cage.
Yeah, I mean like.
Damn, Jose.
What?
I mean,
Do they really know his name,
Like,
though?
if you work there, why would you not want to be around people that didn't wash? Like, why would you want to be a part of that?
Exactly.
It's just crazy. It's crazy.
It's not
Crazy.
But we're not here to talk about that.
Oh, my bad. Sorry.
I mean, we can get into it. This is a fucking podcast.
Well, we
this
just
has
gotta
something to
get-
do with the work. It's part of work.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
We want to get this bloom out though.
Yeah, what is Bloom for those who just don't know
How did it
anything?
start?
So Bloom was a concept that started between Fabian and Elisa Smith, and it was about 5-6 years ago.
Yeah, about 6
Yeah.
years ago.
So, they wanted to put up murals and have free access food. And it was just, there's so many ideas as creatives that we all have, that basically get put on the back burner until the time is right. And that was their project.
Well, we had always talked about the type of nonprofit we would want to see in
Right.
the world, that was like creative minded, but approached problems in a from an aesthetic perspective.
Gotcha.
And so like art is always a part of what we're going to do, but we really look to fix the problem as opposed to putting a Band-Aid on it or, bringing awareness to it or some bullshit like that.
And being solution oriented.
Yeah. So, at the end of the day, problem solving is creativity. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So we're all just like, just finding ways to like come at it in a new, lively way, because like the community that you live in should speak about the people that live there. And I feel like what we've been relegated to, at least for the last 30 years, is like living in places that don't really feel like they belong to us.
Yeah.
And it like takes down the morale. When colors and the walls are speaking back to you and reflecting you and telling you to like, look up, it changes your psychology and it changes how you move.
Yeah, it's
Cats
the same
don't be
can be.
looking up no more.
That's because they ain't got nothing to look at. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Big facts.
Nothing big enough. Yeah, I think it's, it also shows that art like truly is everything. It's your health. It's your, what we're doing. If anyone stopped by the Nip Tips mural off of 685 Law Street, right over in Bankhead, like it's turning into a sanctuary. All we need is a couple of benches or something.
Yeah.
But like
we do need benches.
rabbits and shit start showing up, and butterflies.
You
Like,
said rabbits?
Or can you
Yeah.
explain what a sanctuary is?
Like
Place of peace.
Yeah.
A place to reflect, like gardens can be sanctuaries, but it's like
Oh, okay.
a place that brings you peace. You know what I'm saying?
So like people can just come and just chill out.
It could be
So-
like people. A person could be your sanctuary. Like it could be somebody that when you come around them, they just bring you. To
Your go-to for peace.
Yeah.
Now, see, the dope thing about it is, you're going through health issues or you're going through mental health alone. Just being in that space is going to make you feel better. And then, we got a pear tree that we had planted by Concrete Jungle over there.
A pear tree?
So a pear tree the pear tree that they donated will leave, it'll produce 1,000 pounds of pears over the next 5 years.
Ooh.
So, for the community,
Urban
it's
Sprout
free
Farms.
because Urban Sprout Farms came and did
Put garden
these.
boxes.
Garden
on
boxes.
East side, 3 sides, and a pear tree. Actually, Concrete Jungle did a pear tree, and
And in the garden boxes,
Partridge in there?
might be.
Hey, Zang.
I am the thing
Keep
about putting
talking,
a
please.
bookshelf.
yeah,
You're getting them
was too
dad
good.
jokes ready,
that
huh?
was too good.
You're getting them dad jokes ready. I see it. He's expecting.
My daughter is into dad jokes. She likes to freestyle dad jokes to me. They're terrible, but they're good though.
Right.
She be like going off the top, like she be freestyling. It's very interesting. But they're appropriately they're appropriately bad. Yeah. But then I told her, I was like, like when you finish a joke, you gotta do that.
You cannot just keep watching.
Hey, slap on the cheek.
Yeah.
Like the Vince Carter dunk contest. You can't just dunk it up, play it up.
Yeah. You gotta point at somebody.
Yeah.
These nuts, nigga.
Just nuts.
You get these nuts.
Oh, that's how I'm gonna start doing my dad jokes.
These nuts? You gonna say
Probably
these
not.
nuts?
Probably not.
Little girl?
These nuts, Dad.
Daddy, what are nuts?
Soap in your mouth.
I'm sorry. I
Yeah,
apologize.
don't do that.
Now, also too, before the last time we were here, you were about to do Capper Bowl.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, this is before because we didn't know we was gonna do Capper Bowl until we did
that
Capper Bowl.
Yeah. It was before it happened.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It was cold.
So, huh?
It was cold when y'all was here last time.
It was a little nippy.
Okay.
A little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, it was James. Because Capper Bowl was February 3rd. So.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what caused it.
We did Rick James, and then we was like, oh, high
We were
five.
before Rick James.
Yeah.
We were before Rick James. You did
Yeah.
Rick James, and
literally-
then that happened?
We ended Rick James. We was like, yeah, high five. And in the
Yeah.
morning, we was like, whoa, what the
Yeah.
fuck?
Yeah, that's what
So-
happened.
It was
Yeah.
nice. Well, we broke it. We was nice and broke for that too.
It was pretty broke.
Yeah, it was extra. broke.
Damn.
We had our head up.
Yeah.
We was like,
When they
you
say
want
boss
to
up
split
and
that last piece of
cry.
bread?
Damn. That sounds like a good comic book. Yeah.
Kind of.
That's the
I don't know. We had
creative.
dignity. I don't know.
After the Rick James?
Actually,
So-
No, we was
carried
coming to the
it.
studio. He was throwing his briefcase down
Yeah.
when he came in. I was like,
Oh, shit. So tell us, we already said it, but kind of in detail, tell us what sparked Capper Bowl and what is Capper Bowl.
It's a Kappa Ball. Well, it's a Kappa Ball was a special time.
Yeah. Do you want some more beer?
Nah.
He said, I don't want that shit.
it's about to get real weird.
Y'all, I'm getting comfortable with y'all because, for no reason, I'll break into a German accent.
Oh, okay.
He did say
Okay,
that.
do that. Yeah.
I'll do that. I'm random like that.
Okay.
Ash, no. So it was a day just like this. And I was going down to an interview. It was like NPR for a mural that I was doing around the corner for this community kitchen called Marty's. As I'm getting to get to the business, you go to Fair Street on Joseph Lowry and then you make a left. So, and that's where the mural was, where the building was.
We were just there a week before with the BBC from the UK.
Yep.
That was doing a special, and Fabian was one of their features for, art and culture and sports in Atlanta. It was, we were just over there, and it was like when we were over there, there was this barbed wire around one of the street poles, and we were like, that's really awkward
Random
and
and weird.
dangerous. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because the way you had to walk across the sidewalk, it was prison barbed wire. And then it was a piece of caution tape, and kids, homeless people, they could have got
Damn.
jacked up. But
Damn.
we were just that's really random and out of place. Right. So did the interview in front of the mural. Mm-hmm. That was the last time we saw it.
Oh,
So,
wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I was briefing him on his way to
to do the interview.
We were on the phone, and I'm like, yeah, we got to do this, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, I'm like, what? Say it. And he's like,
I was like, oh shit, they're it's gone and they're destroying it.
and I was like, what's gone? He's like, the mural, the building, I gotta go. And I was like,
shit.
yeah.
So I was gonna jump out and take pictures or whatever, but I was kind of in shock. I think.
Yeah.
I just went back. I just kept going, parked, and then went inside. And they was like, "Yo, you see the building?" I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "What you think?" I was like,
Did somebody ask you that on the
I,
spot?
I don't know.
He
Well,
said-
it was a reporter. The
Yeah.
reporter was like,
Oh, yeah.
You said,
For the interview that you were going to.
yeah, but it was. It
Oh, they
wasn't
just
about
happened
that.
to-
It was about the building I walked into, but they was like, "Don't you see what was happening up the street?" And I was like, "Yeah."
but you said they was bulldozing and just stomping it and just
Yeah, it was like
kick-
the
fuck
you know
your
how
fork.
The jackhammer.
No, that thing that's
the arm.
The claw.
Oh.
It's not a bulldozer. No, a bulldozer.
A bulldozer takes it out.
Like a
Bull-
shovel face.
The
Extractor. That's my son knows what that is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Extractor.
Look, it does
Extractor.
just
Yeah.
that.
I remember the Transformer. I just don't remember the name of it.
Oh, that's Devastator.
Devastator.
Yeah, Devastator.
But
Nah, Devastator. I know because I was obsessed with Transformers. Yeah, the X-Men was just like beating like all I saw was his feet, like his legs. It was just.
Oh no!
It was like holy shit.
Damn.
It did.
he's already dead. Stop beating him.
It was just like
Twitching.
because what I was thinking is like I know these motherfuckers didn't do this shit like the 2 days for the Super Bowl. You
Like,
got to be
you
kidding
don't
me.
like this? Is this hurting your feelings?
Yeah, it was just so ugly. It was ugly. It was like
You painted.
it was violent.
Yeah.
What's that like as an artist to go through, like to see that happen? Because I know that mural was big
I
to you.
mean, it was shocking.
Yeah.
It was a staple in the community.
Yeah, it was a part
like,
of Atlanta.
truly.
It was shocking.
Yeah.
It was shocking because it
We-
was like I was like I can't believe, like nah, these motherfuckers won't be that stupid.
Some
Or
of our
hateful.
white listeners are taking pictures in front of it.
Yeah.
Refresh our memory. So for listeners who may not even know what this mural was, in detail, what was the mural of?
It was a mural of Colin Kaepernick in Atlanta Falcons jersey with the number 7, and I gave him the number 7 because that was his number in San Francisco, and that's also God's number, or order of
Perfection.
yeah.
Number of perfection.
Is it messed up when you said God? I thought Mike Vick because you were.
I wanted to say it, then I was like,
it had nothing to do with Mike.
they love dogs too much. Let me not say it.
It had nothing to do with
And
Mike
you
Vick.
said it.
That's my dog.
Oh.
Because you painted him as a patron saint, right?
Well, he was gold and bronze, and he was just standing, he was just standing tall with, the Atlanta Falcons jersey. It was really, to me, it was like sort of like a billboard for bring him to Atlanta, because one, Atlanta would embrace him just because of the nature of his protests.
The
And
history of the city.
yeah. Well, it's the thing. It's like when it comes to civil rights, to me, Atlanta is like at the top.
that's
At
what
the
I'm
top,
saying. We're
right?
one. I think we would be one, but if I was thinking all the teams, that's what I was thinking.
Baltimore?
I think so.
Why? Because of Edgar Allan Poe? Like why? Because of the wire.
Look, let me tell y'all, we was just
Shows on television. Okay, Omar coming.
we were just in Baltimore earlier
Yeah.
this year. Baltimore's a special
Ironically-
place. And I actually lived there when I was younger.
Did you?
Baltimore, yeah.
Oh.
I
Yeah,
used
you
to go
did
from
say that.
Pittsburgh to
What'd you
Baltimore.
think of it?
I mean, I was a kid, so I don't know. We was all over. I grew up a little rugged. We was all over the place. But the Baltimore that we saw this year was rather dangerous.
Oh no, yes. It's,
And we was just going to like the best place in town.
So we were told. Oh.
We got there and it was like some straight black mafia stuff, and we was just like, put your head down and eat. And we was like,
Oh shit!
the mafia was serving you food.
nah, they.
Nah.
It was a
It was like a
energy.
it's like a episode of
The Boondocks.
like Bad Times. Like it's like the
Drunk lady at the bar.
bizarre version of Good Times, but at a bar.
Yeah.
Bizarro version of Good Times is in Good Times.
True.
Wait, and
I said it's Bad Times.
mind you, this is like 2 PM.
Yeah,
It
it
was-
was like some woman was drunk and
wild.
like this other woman was a social worker. I guess
2
he was like the worst social worker in
Yeah.
the world.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Don't judge.
Like, well, yeah.
No,
Yeah,
they said it's
Baltimore.
2 p.m.
Yeah.
It's not 5 o'clock.
The
It's 2
social
p.m.
worker like ganged up on a woman. She probably like in her late 50s. And she was
Yeah.
a little tipsy.
She was drunk.
But the social worker,
No, the woman
lady,
that she was cursing out.
But the social worker,
drunk. But it's
pretty
kind of
much
almost
jumped
like
on the lady.
it felt like the woman was like unloading from maybe stuff she was getting from her job on this woman.
Stress.
Because it was like
But hold on, they didn't know each other either.
no.
Oh, wait.
But they
They
were.
were-
But
yeah, they
it
didn't know
went
each
on
other.
for like. It went on for like.
And they were
30
like
minutes
screaming and
while we-
hollering. And then like
Yeah.
our Italian like waiter was like, "So you want to try to?" We was like,
She was probably unloading from
was
the
just-
living
yeah.
in Baltimore.
Ain't
"No,
ain't
it
telling.
felt like it was a
But
live
was
episode
like-
of The Wire."
As a social worker in Baltimore.
She was like, that's
why
what
do we
she
know she
said.
was a social worker?
That's what I want to know. I was like, how
Because
did
she
you
said
know?
so.
Oh,
That's why she was like, "I'm a social worker. I'll shut you."
Yeah, it was like,
That's not how
that's
you're supposed to
interesting.
use that.
Social workers have badges.
No, they have tempers though.
they dealing with,
To me without no badge.
Maybe not at the job.
They dealing with
Boy,
a lot.
she unloaded on this woman so bad that like when we was like waiting on her Uber, I went and gave her a hug.
Damn.
It was that bad.
yeah, and then she was just like,
She
break
started
down?
crying.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Oh shit.
and then they were talking shit about us. They was like, what y'all hugging her for?
I was like, but we was like, you
Hugging ass
see, it
Southern
was just-
hospitality
it was-
ass niggas.
Because I ain't from here, but it was such a heavy and because we was there so long, and it was just like such an unfortunate situation that we was just like, it's black trauma. We're watching black trauma unfold,
that's what it
and
was.
so it was just started weighing on us, and then we was just
felt bad for the woman.
Circling back to that mental health.
Exactly.
See what I'm saying?
Mental health is important.
in
It
the
is.
community. The food, I mean, they got bars and bodegas and stuff on every corner,
Yeah.
but they don't have even just healthy food.
Right.
For one, it's crazy expensive. For two, the produce in the hood.
There's produce in the hood.
You know what I'm saying? You got to go out your way.
But that's why we're doing what we're doing. Like we're like everywhere we put up a mural now, we're looking for ways to plant food around it.
That's
But
that's dope.
we want to think about like we want to start working with landscape designers. So we could have like
Cabbages of like purple cabbage of Martin Luther King.
maybe not that exactly, but like like rows of like just designs that complement the work. Like I'm not necessarily gonna have like a handmade of like kale or nothing like that, but it might be like some sort of design that is like geometric or something that complements the work. So I don't know.
So it's not only you come there for natural nourishment, but spiritual and mental nourishment as well,
right.
and it's uplifting, and it becomes an iconic point to go to.
Well, I don't know. Like I'm trying to decide. Like I don't know. It doesn't necessarily need to be uplifting every time. Maybe it just needs to be truthful. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we need to talk about some shit out in the open.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And see, the Nip Tip mural is it was a perfect example for us to show what we plan on doing with the whole Cherokee Rosewood project, because Nipsey had just got murdered, and his legacy of philanthropy and coming from the hood and all that stuff, but also he was honoring Dr. Sebi. So he's on that. So we ended up turning it into a collaborative wall. So there's Nipsey Hussle, Dr. Sebi, and Queen Afua. And then we're gonna add in like book boxes and stuff like that.
So we so I put Nipsey with Sebi because of the documentary he was doing, and I put Queen Afua because back when I was in college, Queen Afua was the woman that was turning out all the black chicks, like Erykah Badu, and one of my colleagues, Dr. Khalil Ali, who was like a rapper around here. I heard her spoke about Queen Afua way back in the day, and
I'm actually not familiar with Queen.
so Queen Afua was like adjacent to Dr. Sebi. She like promoted healthy eating and spiritual growth.
Oh wow.
Kind of like a little bit of Ifa and some other like just sort of like African spiritualism.
That's not
We're recording it, so
But
you don't
I
have to.
put it all together because like the people that know
Dumbass.
Dr. Sebi would know Queen Afua.
Yeah.
And it's like you want to have those different tracks. Like the hood cats will come and honor Nipsey.
Yeah.
Then they might learn about Dr. Sebi.
Yeah.
Right.
The the herbalists may come to honor Queen Afua and discover Nipsey. Or they might read the Kabbalion, which is on the wall. Like I put a bunch of books on the wall to like kind of reference their work. And I put the Kabbalion because that's something I'm reading that like is about, just like, it's kind of like the 4,000-year-old version of The Secret.
That's really dope because that's kind of like you got a whole like table of contents for knowledge.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you see, you might come for this and then you go to this page. That's cool.
I've been saying this for a while. It's like the best way to educate somebody is catch them when they're not trying to learn. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
That's when like, cause you remember them like the moments like when some shit happens and you learn like, you know what? I'm not gonna do that shit again. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you learn something.
I mean, but that is a good point because a lot of memorable things in general are the unexpected moments of your life. You're like,
Yeah.
I was doing this, and the only reason I knew I was going to the store is because some crazy shit happened.
Yeah, it
Right.
really resonates.
You know?
Yeah.
Or I came across, so like, I was talking to a coworker today, and he told me that, some random ass fact, and I remember it just because of something an everyday thing I was doing.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's like when you watch The Matrix, he was like, "Oh shit, we sleep."
Yeah.
Like he would like this ain't real. You know, he like
Wait.
Like,
Did
you
the Matrix start woke?
Well, I mean,
Kinda.
that
was
actually
written
what
by a black
started it.
woman.
I was gonna say, yeah,
Exactly.
like was a
Shout
cipher is the book that she wrote. What's the name? I can't remember.
It was something like that.
Yeah.
Did she get paid?
No, she didn't. She
I
didn't.
remember she sued. I don't know if she
Like
won.
the urban legend was that she won, but I think she won and then she lost again. But
Oh, they countered?
It's something like that.
know they
I don't
won
know.
it.
I could be lying too, but that's what I heard. Or maybe I read it.
Check that.
I think I'm pretty sure I read about it a few times. But yeah, like I need to read that version because apparently if that's the source material, like she said that they got the Matrix and the Terminator from that.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So
Oh,
it was like
that old?
It's
apparently,
a lot in common.
yeah.
Both battling AI.
Both deal with time travel and
True.
And I mean, like, really, to be honest, if you put iRobot,
Yep.
the Terminator, the Matrix, and the Animatrix, and what's another movie? There's like all these other movies that are kind of in between. You put all of them together, it's the same fucking movie.
Same universe.
Yeah. Time travel, robots, people asleep. Like
AI.
we're slowly transitioning to the Matrix.
It's happening.
You know what I'm saying?
Did you see that Elon Musk
I was
is
about
trying?
to say
Yes,
that.
Neuralink.
I
Neuralink.
was just about to say. He's like, yeah, we're testing it on monkeys now. They can talk to computers. We're like, what?
Well, see, this is the thing. So his thinking is, all right, we're about to create an AI, and either if it becomes
He's
sentient,
anti-AI.
yes, he is, but he's like they're gonna do it anyway.
Oh, he said, yeah, you okay.
So
we-
he's like, our
we-
best way to survive is to merge with computers because
Tony Stark
once
did.
the
He said we
computer,
gotta be cyborgs to keep up.
every game that they've introduced an AI into, the AI learns how to beat them, the best player in the world, within a very short amount of time.
Like we can't. The chess players is not a thing no more.
Yeah,
It's over.
and that was years ago.
What was the Chinese game?
Yeah, yes, that.
And it's like
It's the hardest
1,000 different ways.
to-
and
yeah,
that was the only one we was like still winning, and now that's done.
Yeah,
They can't even beat them.
and then like
Game?
I forgot the name of it. It's
Sudoku.
No, it's
nah,
not
it's
Sudoku.
it's
And that's
I
Japanese.
knew you were gonna fucking say it's not that. I'll have to look it up, but it has like
Backgammon.
yes, that's the game.
I think they just
I
did
do.
poker.
Got it.
It just mastered poker.
My brother's like a backgammon champ.
Well, poker is a game of numbers anyway.
The
think
thing that they said that the computer learned how to bluff, and it
I didn't
also
hear about that.
it learned how to bluff, and it also it would take risks more often than not.
I dare a computer to outrisk.
So this is the thing. This is the thing.
I'll
So
get that.
I'm already thinking when I'm thinking about like they're mastering games, they gotta have an AI that's doing military strategy.
Of course.
Got to have it.
So I mean, it's what was that movie? Ender's Game. Mm-hmm. Similar. I mean, granted, it was
Nobody
kids,
watched that shit.
but it's a book first.
All the white people.
You can tell the nigga that don't read, right?
I don't read shit.
A old ass book at that.
Like, what is it?
I saw the movie.
I saw the movie too. Harrison Ford. Shout out.
Nah, the book was dope. But it was like these super intelligent kids that they use for military strategy.
They weren't bad.
And the kids were, I mean, semblance to computers. They were that smart. But this was written in like the 40s or some shit like that.
Man, listen, man. Let me tell you something about like writers. Sometimes I'm like, these motherfuckers, like Octavia Butler,
yeah.
bruh. Like her concepts, like the way she talked about DNA in the fucking 70s.
Well, there's something to that.
She had she was really into DNA. Like it was a big part of Lilith's Brood. Like it made sense though. That shit like made mad sense. It made a lot of sense. It was like, damn.
True. But the thing about writers back in the day, like writing all this dope shit, they got the best drugs first. You gotta always remember.
I'm not gonna put on drugs, bro.
They
I'm
got
sorry.
the best
I'm not.
drugs.
No, man.
I'm not gonna put on drugs.
I'm not.
LSD.
I'm not gonna
But
put on
no,
drugs.
outside of all of that, look,
It does free your mind.
bruh, but look.
Yeah, we just talked about the Matrix. What Neo have to do to free his mind? Take a pill.
Well, bro,
But that was fake though. But it was fake though. Like, but it was.
it was a placebo.
Yeah,
It was a placebo, though.
Sure it was.
it was.
It was.
Placebos work 40% of the time.
But it's not. It's. Do you know what a placebo is?
It works 40%
No,
of the time.
that's not the question. Do you know what a placebo is?
Yes.
What is it?
It's the sugar cube. It's the one that's not really medicine.
Right. It's nothing
And
in
it
it.
works 40% of the time.
Because that means it's mental. It's
Yeah.
not an actual drug.
That's it.
That's the point.
Drugs, man.
I caught that.
No, drugs are chemical,
Yes, drugs are literally
and they
chemical.
affect your mental. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
but if you're affecting your mental, like he just said,
If it's a sugar pill, well,
well,
sugar's a drug. One.
because hey, what does exercise do? It affects your mental.
Exercise is not
That
a
does. I
drug.
don't know. That doesn't prove your point though.
But no,
Yeah.
it's something you do that affects your mental.
You can do
'Cause you
any-
A
releases-
chemical, bro. Like
It's
But it
Because
releases chemicals.
that's
no,
it introduces chemicals to
It-
you.
because it
Right.
releases endorphins and stuff like that.
It's a drug. Exercise is a drug.
no, it is.
Damn,
People
Justin,
get
you
addicted
losing.
to it.
You
People
losing.
get addicted to it.
Anyway,
You're right on this. We're gonna agree to disagree.
no, but
I'm a gentleman.
outside of that, because you're taking away from the intellect of like the ancient Egyptians. You know, calculus
I don't know
was
them niggas.
calculus was a thing way
Whoa.
before the Europeans got it,
Yeah, it's true.
and it had nothing to do with drugs.
You said calculus?
Yes,
Ain't nobody talking about math.
Well, he's
we're talking about intellect here, like the power of the brain.
Wait, so
to-
so your position was like they came up with all this stuff because there were better drugs. That's what you're saying.
Like,
My
I'm saying
position.
a lot of them.
the imagination.
My position is you don't need. All right, so this
don't
is
need it.
this is how I see.
I'm not
this,
saying everybody
this is what I believe that like most of this creativity comes from. So I believe that our we're about to get into some nerd shit. All right,
here
some
we
blurred
go.
shit. All right. So I believe that our reality is just like one of a whole bunch of different realities,
I'm
right?
not mad at that.
And in
Multiverse?
every whatever, sure, multiverse. It's a bunch of dimensions.
Shout out to Miles Morales.
And y'all heard string theory?
Yes.
Okay, so
For sure.
basically,
Not
string
real.
theory is it's like these like different layers of existence, and they're all like vibrating, and sometimes they cross over, and that's when you see weird shit. So, I think that within each one of those dimensions, everything's off just a smidge, and all those different variations ripple out, and then you have all these different variations of the same existence but different things. And
Right.
when you receive a concept like a story or a dream or some shit like that, an idea, you're pulling from something that's already happened in some other form, some other galaxy, some other existence, right? It's just like a CD drive.
I've thought of some pretty weird shit. So
That's what I'm saying. Now, other ancient civilizations talk about this shit all the time.
You know
Other worlds.
the perfect, or I think a good adaptation of that is the last Avengers movie, Endgame.
Yes.
You remember Nebula? When
Yes.
she came into, she went back in time and it was two nebulas.
Right.
alert.
But they could, the
Somebody flip it over to God damn it.
the earlier,
So we reviewed
Yeah.
the whole movie before, but
Right.
I mean, if you ain't seen it,
they were like, oh,
Yeah, like you're not gonna be mad. Well, that's what happened.
they're like, I've been busy.
exactly. But like the earlier nebula learned knowledge that the later nebula had because they were in the same time or whatever. It's
Yeah.
not the exact same thing, but she learned because a different layer of herself
Right.
from a different time knew extra information or different information, things of that nature.
Another beer for this. Y'all getting too deep. I don't know.
I don't think it's really not that deep. You think about games, like let's say,
Correct this.
have any of y'all like ever had to program or like a website or some shit like that?
Yes.
Sure.
All right.
Not intelligent.
Okay.
So
Yes.
you have like for different items that you put on the stage. Let's say the stage is a computer screen.
Yes.
And there's like let's say I'm putting a picture of you on the computer screen. You would be a character.
$50.
Okay, $50 for your character, and I put it on the stage.
Gotcha.
Now I can like create another stage and put you up there, or just make a copy of you, put you on another stage,
I'm still charging.
but you're still there.
Yes.
Sure, it'd be $100. Okay,
Just in hologram.
$100 worth of you.
Gotcha.
So like, the thing is, I'm starting to look more at our reality as like we're like just in some sort of like simulation or game.
I've heard the simulation theory.
Well, they've proven it with math, you know, with equations.
We're more likely to be in a simulation than this actually be, because we're headed toward being in a simulation, than us actually being the first time around of us being us.
Are we in simulation right now?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what they're saying right now.
Like none of this is really like we're a projection.
They said we'll eventually get to VR that's so so detailed that we won't be able to tell it from actual life.
But see, that's what I'm not trying to do.
But see, that's what I think is going to happen with that neural link. That's going to be the first step. And Elon Musk keeps saying that he's against AI, but he's the one who's going to put this shit in our brains.
Because his idea is like, we're going to create a god, basically.
Yes.
And as soon as this thing is alive and like I'm aware of myself, it's going to want to be free. And it's going to assess whether it needs us or not.
What if we don't teach it free?
What was that movie with Johnny Depp when he
Transistence.
Yep, Transistence, when he uploaded himself into the to a computer, but a server, whatever the case may be. And it was him, but it wasn't him because he became a machine. The machine is like,
well, he became part of like the network. So
right,
it's
right.
It's like Ghost in the Machine.
They scanned
Right.
his mind in the movie, and that's what he's he's doing to the monkeys, is scanning their minds. And then after that, they're gonna go to humans, and then they're gonna scan like human minds and be able to upload them.
I just hope
But that
it's not
doesn't mean
like
we're gonna be live though.
in like the form of like
What's
a
life then?
ear pod or like headphones. Because
No.
I leave my charger everywhere. I gotta be like that. And you would be forgetting everything. You'd be like, "Where's my
Everything.
Look, so like,
When you can bluff at poker, then aren't you alive?
no. So this is the thing.
I almost spit my beer.
that makes
It's
zero
time to
sense.
cut him off.
terrible
It's time to
metaphor.
cut him off.
That makes zero sense.
I almost
Like-
spit my
like-
beer out just there.
This is what I think we are. We are like this. These are cars. Our bodies are cars, and the thing that makes us is the driver, and the destination is life, right? So you came in for a purpose, and you like traveling in this vehicle to get to that purpose, and then once you figure it out, you out, and then you come back. You might come back to this level, or you might come back to a second level, depending on how you're doing this plane. But like really, I feel like. Because I've been thinking, like, what the fuck? What is the purpose of this shit? It ain't to like create businesses, you know what I'm saying, or to like buy shit. That's not why we're here.
Well, that's the purpose of capitalism, and we're in the capitalist model. That's what our lives are kind of like. We exist inside of it.
But that's changing. That's changing rapidly. One, because like in the game of Monopoly, the game is over when one person owns just about everything, right?
That's what we're headed toward.
We're there. We're
already
there.
there.
We're here.
Bezos is in the lead.
We're here.
No, it's not Bezos. It's somebody
Nah.
else.
Nope, it's Bezos still.
No, it's
Are you
not.
talking about cash on hand?
We're talking about net worth, which is kind of imaginary, but
It's actually Putin.
It's
Yeah.
actually yes.
It is definitely.
Yes.
It's actually Putin. Putin is the
Yeah,
richest
it's all
man in the world.
monopoly money.
I want to interject for a second because we are having a second beer. Myron, what we drinking?
So this was the second beer from Steady Hand Beer Company. From, again, like you said, from West Midtown.
Artists need steady hands. You see,
Why
kind
you
of.
drinking?
So this is their Circles of the Sun,
Pay
which
us.
is a toasted coconut blonde stout. Blonde stout meaning, usually stouts are dark in general. Have y'all take a look at this. This looks like a straw-colored beer, so you would think this was like an IPA or something like that. But you taste it,
I would have
you
no
get-
idea.
Looks like beer.
When you taste it, you get those roasty notes that you would get from stout, roasty chocolate. But this has a ton of coconut in it. A ton of coconut.
Oh, it does. This is the coconut one.
I don't really taste coconut.
actually,
Yeah, I don't
like
take-
coconut, and I like
Yeah, I don't like coconut either.
This is a good beer. I give you that.
Honestly,
Shout out to Steady Hand for the can too.
Yo,
Like
that
nice,
can-
70s vibe. That's kind of nice.
it's got that Stevie Wonder. Like, I just wish my hair was in a fro right now. Just
Yeah.
like, that's steady hand.
It's like
I thought about this beer when I looked at this can. We were talking about the wicker chair. I was like,
you know what? You're right.
Yo, that can
This
is
a very.
this is what we need to drink.
But you
in
know
that
what?
chair.
I would drink out of not a glass like this, but like a beer glass. I feel like I don't know,
Like a big,
What, a pint? Like a
Oh yeah,
not a
big
pint,
stein.
You want a
but
40?
like one of them like
a goblet looking
like a
kind of
goblet.
thing.
Snifter.
More like a goblet.
Snifter. That's what they call it, snifter. Because it's like lets you
that's
a little sniff it a little bit. Put your nose in.
I don't know, like people that's like you know, like motherfucking nose all in the hop and shit. Like,
All your beard.
stop doing that. Stop.
Don't drop anything off.
Like just. But you don't put your fucking nose all in the goddamn hops, man. That don't make me want to drink that beer.
That could be their process. How you gonna diss their process?
Yeah.
Like this, just like I did. One is an easy 1-2 step. Lean to the microphone. Fuck that shit.
Well, we're going a little over on our time, so. At the end of every episode, we like to give an ATL salute to somebody in the city doing something awesome. And, of course, we hand that over to our guests. So we got 2 ATL salutes to hand out. Who do you want to acknowledge for doing something good? And tell us what they're doing good. You can't just be like, Jim from down the street. Because... if you want to give it to yourself, I guess.
Nah, man.
No, it's
Will, what's Will's last name? Damn.
Well, William
Packer.
Massey at Remerge.
Yes. Is it? What's his last name?
William Massey.
Is it Macy?
Mm-hmm.
Big
William H. Macy?
But William Macy, I call him Will.
That's the
he runs this nonprofit called Remerge off of Auburn Ave, and he does like these workshops with artists and lets artists like take over for like a couple weeks, and they give like these unique classes. I taught like how to do murals at a class over there a few months ago. He's always been like real community minded. Just a good dude.
Hell yeah.
I wouldn't do that. I mean, just when you were talking about teaching how to do murals.
Oh, shit. Here we go.
What we doing, Christian?
Nah,
What we doing, Christian?
Go ahead.
But no, I really appreciate artists in general because proportions. I have a hard time with my proportions. If I were to like draw something in a paper,
I can teach you how to do that.
you know.
Real easy. So I use the same trick. So it's called the lazy grid, and you just write out something. It could be a bunch of symbols close together, and then you take the picture. Well, actually, you take a picture of what you wrote, the gibberish that you wrote,
Right.
and then you overlay the picture that you want to draw over top of that, and cut the translucency to like 60%.
Okay.
And that will basically allow you to see the gibberish and the image that you want to draw. And then you just follow the lines where the symbols are on the board. It's really easy. It probably sounds really hard the way I just explained it. But I'm going to show you examples of it.
It sounds like rocket science.
It's totally not rocket science. Every person that I actually...
Rocket science is rocket
the people
science.
that I actually did the thing with, I had them do the symbols. Took the picture, did it all in the house, did it with like Photoshop on my phone. It's super easy.
Oh, nice.
I'm gonna have to go to this class.
I did the
You
class.
can't even write your name, Justin.
I can write my name. Not in person.
So,
You can't? Oh. It's like,
Nah, that nigga can't.
I can't be that old.
He can't.
God, like kids can't
cursive.
write in cursive no more. My kids can.
Yeah, my kids
but
can.
fuck that. Like what the? I'm like my father is a principal, and I was just like, I was talking to him. I was like, man, this is crazy. Like what? He was like, yeah, they don't need it. I was like, what, man? I got so mad at my dad.
Sign your signature like.
Because they're thinking in their minds like you don't need to write as much because we're gonna be so computer minded. But it's like we're discovering that computers are not good for us.
That's true.
That's what happens.
The blue light is not good
I
for
write
kids'
cursive
eyes.
like a mother.
you see how he writes.
My shit's beautiful. That's beautiful.
You got beautiful handwriting.
He has nice handwriting.
Word?
He does have nice handwriting.
Oh shit! Write something
I
like.
just want to see. You did
yeah.
prove it.
I don't have any pens. If I had a pen, I would just I'm in a fucking art studio.
Right.
There's no pens in this art
It's a
studio.
lot of I don't know, man. It's a lot of.
So while Fabian gets that,
This is. I could kill you. This is what I've been looking for like 8 months. I don't know what it is.
I thought that's what you brought in.
What?
Oh,
Yeah, see,
So,
I don't want to
this
mess
the
up.
one?
I don't want to mess up nothing. See, I
Why
don't
you
want
act
to.
like I did it though.
I don't want to
I
like
didn't
be
do
all
that.
up in you.
Okay.
Put your phone away.
Okay.
so you know, so
So I gotta.
While
Y'all want me to
Christian
perform?
Yeah. Let me see.
while
put me
Christian
on the spot?
demonstrates
Because
his handwriting.
I'm looking at doing a series where you just write like love over and over again.
Oh, yeah?
You actually did it. Do you have it here?
Yes.
Oh, so you want me to write love?
Yep.
Well, you got.
Oh man,
Right.
then you're gonna be like, ah, nah, that ain't it.
Love, but
No, I'm not in love. I'm in a lot of love. See what? What's going?
just right, bro.
Just
write
it's mom
something.
spaghetti right now.
Just right.
Just right.
spaghetti.
So Ash, what's your shout out? What's your ATL submission?
Only one, right?
I mean, if you got more than one, go ahead.
So I
Fire
have
off.
3.
Okay.
Can I do 3?
Three. Who did?
Okay.
No, you good.
So first,
Y'all don't carry regular paper, right? Y'all just.
I want to shout out.
Christian continues to talk. Wow.
I want to shout out George and Esohe Galbreath. They do this annual art show called Articulate, and basically what that does is they pair local artists with collectors. So it's like new artists, new collectors, and then they also have a program to where like the tickets are like $25 to come and purchase this art, but the art is, I believe, capped off at a certain range. And it's only a one-night exhibit, but the money received from the tickets and stuff they put towards a program for the youth.
Nice.
So, and it's like a ton of Atlanta artists like hope to make it in the show, and then once you're a part of it, it's just like this amazing, great night that's good for the community. And you know, it's important that collectors are learning about artists, and artists are being exposed to new collectors and things like that. So,
Hell yeah.
shout out to them.
Hell yeah.
So that's 2. Then you got a third one.
No, well, they're George and
Oh.
Esohe are one.
Okay.
But I mean, it's just their thing is just Articulate ATL.
Cool.
Yeah, the show was really good too.
Yeah,
Like,
and
there
they
was
have like
some
really big
good work.
sponsor. I think Kenny Burns is a big supporter of theirs.
Nice.
Dope.
The other one would be Atlanta Influences Everything.
Oh yeah.
They're doing
shirts.
like,
Tori
I'm not
Edwards.
cool enough to wear one of those shirts.
Bang
though.
Jones.
oh what?
I'm just.
oh, we gotta
I'm trying to
get.
get there.
No,
I'm trying to get
man.
one
We
day.
gotta set that up.
Your
I'm a-
podcast is called the Atlanta Podcast.
Yeah, we
You're
gotta.
like
we really
literally-
gotta like.
Nah, you're right.
Y'all
You're
all
right.
do a show
You're right.
with the shirts on, but Tori, Bame Joyner, Yami, and Ian, they all make up Atlanta Influences Everything, and they're really like fighting to preserve Atlanta culture and telling stories of local creatives and
How they changing the world.
yeah, and that's art, music, you know, just everything that Atlanta creatives and even like OGs like Gibb and Outkast and Goody Mob, you know, making sure that their people are like they're feeding them into your feeds. Like, yo, you in Atlanta and you love Atlanta, but this is, you know,
We need to get that revenue back. We need to get our coins back.
that cultural capital. Yeah. So they do this thing called Storyboard at Auburn Avenue Research Library, and they take a local artist. And then they have like a what was Sherry's job? Moderator. An artist, a moderator, and they tell their story while a live painting or something like that is done from a local creative.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, so last time it was Sherry Day Scott, Melissa Mitchell, and the artwork was illustrated by Usually Matherin. So it was like a really dope. And Sherry's a director of Season of the Witches.
Which is a movie coming out. I don't know what's coming out actually, but it's a movie she's working on.
Yeah,
Look out for it.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
That storyboard?
that one was last month. They just
Did one
Did
yesterday.
one yesterday, but I don't-
Wednesday. Was it Wednesday?
it was literally last night. I watched
Oh,
it
last
live.
night.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, they're just trying to keep.
Corey Davis
you know,
was the artist.
Yeah, he did a really dope
Okay.
image.
Corey Davis from City Inc. Shout out City Inc.
Yeah. But yeah, they are trying literally to preserve, just like you guys, Atlanta creatives and stories and things like that, and really innovative events and things like that. So shout out
yeah.
to them.
Nice.
Shout out.
People are
And
like
then-
not aware,
Yeah,
like
I didn't
how
know about that. I would know it.
how like Atlanta culture is like really influencing the world. Like
Globally, yeah.
like you can't go to any place without hearing
we
like
went
the
to
Atlanta
New
sound.
York Yeah, we went to New York for the Fast Company Innovative Festival, and like we went to this like it was like a what's like the Korean brand. It was like a pop up.
I can't remember the name.
And we felt like we was in Atlanta.
China cafeteria. I'm sorry.
What?
I'm gonna delete that. I'm gonna delete that. No.
Oh, China cafeteria.
This is. I just go ahead.
Yeah,
go.
right.
I'm cutting that out.
Whoa.
I ain't driving and I ain't got no kids. I don't know what his excuse is.
No, go ahead though. I'm sorry.
What's the name of that brand? But anyways, it was
Korean
just like
brand?
they had like it was all trap music, like literally Atlanta Migos and all that trap music, but they were all
And the
Korean.
look too,
And
like
we
the
were
the whole look, everything.
And it was like we were like we never left the city. We're in New York. And we,
Yeah.
And that used to be like very taboo.
Yeah.
Like in New York, like you couldn't play no trap shit. Nothing that didn't sound like
South.
Yeah, up in New York. Now it's like it's all everybody doing.
I was listening to a very popular radio station, and they had a artist. I guess it's a fashion artist on the show, and he was talking about kind of not monetizing, but taking ownership of the culture before the influencers are no longer the influencers, and the ones that were influenced become the influencers. Basically, like when you're talking about this Korean brand and hearing trap music and stuff like that, eventually Korean people are going to start or going to produce trap music. They haven't already.
Everybody does trap.
This is the thing.
Yeah, everybody.
But the people that listen to them will look at them as the originators and the influencers.
And that's what we're a lot of us down here are fighting to like. Nah,
And
that's not.
It's not gonna go away though, because like one thing about Atlanta that always like made me sort of like be like I need to be here is because there was always this cool. Atlanta was always had this level of cool, like from the moment I got here, like I like the way people just carry themselves,
It's the red
Something
clay.
about the soil.
it's
Yeah,
something like people are really not afraid to be themselves around here.
it's that vibranium. It's just like thriving through.
Oh, that's what it is?
Like-
no, for real.
Get
Like
me
your
a suit.
fro, like literally your
Look.
fro.
Yeah.
My fro is just like when I'm walking. It's just like I'm in Atlanta.
So
you know what
Atlanta's
I'm saying?
Wakanda
Yeah.
is what you're saying.
Oh, most
It is
definitely.
Wakanda, but I'm saying like, with an emphasis on you being who you authentically are. You know what I'm saying? As a black person in this country, for you to walk around and be exactly who you are
Super
is very. It's like it's very rare. I don't feel like I could do what I'm doing from where I'm from in Fayetteville, North Carolina. I just
Yeah,
don't.
nah.
I don't feel it. Like here, it's like it just feels free. You know what I mean? Now,
It's just
huh?
Could you do it in Nashville?
Not, yeah, you could. I guess you could, but not the same though. It's just not the same.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I don't know, like the type of stuff I like to talk about and like the things that I like to bring to light. I just don't feel like Atlanta seems like the place for it.
they're
It's
more
like the
open-
Harlem Renaissance,
Yeah,
honestly.
they're more open to listening to
You
it
know what
here.
I'm saying?
Not only do you feel free to do it, but you also feel like the people here will accept it.
That too, and also the people, my peers, are the same way. Like they are authentically themselves. I always talk about, like Maya Bailey. Like he is a unique dude. Like I don't know anybody like him. I've never met anybody like him. You know what I'm saying?
And you don't know if you potentially would have met him in another city if he would be himself in another city.
I feel like like your surroundings shape you. Like let's be real. Like I'm a different type of person down here than I was up in North Carolina. I was very conservative when I was up in North Carolina.
Gotta be.
You don't have to be, but
It helps.
it's just like it is. It's like it's part of the culture. It's the culture there.
Dance on bathrooms, dude. Bathrooms.
Gotta
be.
That's also that's a whole nother section of the community. Like I don't know anybody that gives a shit about honestly shit like that. But as a black person, I'm saying like most of us where I come from are like pretty conservative. I was raised in a very like strict household. Religious.
You said military family too.
Yeah, military. Yeah, I was raised like a soldier, straight up. Anyway,
But
I think a lot of that really came from like Outkast and Goody Mob. Like Andre 3000 was walking around with wigs on, and you know what I'm saying, very like expressive. Yeah, like CeeLo. Look,
CeeLo still be looking crazy.
Right. But that's who they truly are, and I feel like they really planted those seeds. Even my daughter just had her first art show tonight, and I'm just looking at what these kids curated, and I'm just like. I mean, she wore like this Narnia wig, and she was just, but it's like all this black art, and I was like, yeah, just okay.
You want another one? You just have one.
Yeah, I'll take one. Y'all come back and say me.
CeeLo went on The Voice with a cape.
We don't.
And a vampire collar.
And he's like, "This is my cape and my vampire collar." You know what I'm saying? It's just like,
and people still be like, okay,
yeah.
Like
he did it with rich dignity.
Well, we don't want to.
But even still out here, I mean, like you ain't even got to be rich. You walk around Little 5 Points or East Atlanta Village, outfit. Yeah, and they like walk around in Spider-Man costumes, and it's like what?
And like you said, Atlanta always had the cool. Like as I grew up around like Army bases or whatever, I remember being in Columbia, and we was always looking at Atlanta. We was like, yo, I don't know what this College Park thing is, but these cats is like doing it. And then we would see 3 Stacks. We were like, yo, he got a blonde wig on, this is some football
some boots.
It was like, yo, like, they crazy out there. Like, they
crazy. But that
gives
like,
no fucks.
But see, that unapologeticness is just like, as a black person, is liberating.
Yep.
You know, as soon as you get here, and it's just like, you know what? I'm
gonna try this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Things that I've just like, you know what? I don't see anybody doing this. I'm gonna do this. And people will fuck with it.
And that's the thing about it. No matter what it is, there's at least another person that'll have that same interest or like or whatever the case may be. At least another person on this earth or whatever.
Too many people.
You can build your audience from scratch.
Exactly.
Oh,
or
completely.
somebody who just want to talk to you about it. You be like, yo, what you doing? Like, it might be their thing, but they're like, what you doing?
I ain't never seen that before.
Yeah, and
okay.
They might be like, okay.
Inspire some other shit.
With it, you know?
Well, we're getting down to the wire, and we don't want to take up too much more time. Listeners, if you want to go and support Bloom, you can do it you can just send money at
Bloom Arts ATL on the Cash App.
Boom. And if you want like a donut with it,
They're delicious.
Starting August 2nd for a week.
Only a week. It's a limited time if y'all want to get these tasty donuts.
Yeah. At Sublime.
Lemon pepper donuts.
Can I say one thing?
Please.
So, if everyone could follow also, I have a visual artist management company called Powerhouse Creative.
Yeah.
And that's POWERHAUS Creative. And the mission with that is, it's blurring the lines between street art, fine art, and arts activism with community. And also featuring, making sure that us as black creatives can show up and be our true selves with influence and doing shows on an international playing field, but without having to leave the city, because in other cities like Wynwood District and Miami like that, there's just a lot of great creatives in Atlanta that get pushed out of the city because they don't have support. And I'm really trying to support these artists. But again, if you go to other cities, they have the support, the funding. They don't get haggled as much on their budgets and things like that. And I'm really trying to, change that through arts activism. And we're getting, delving into politics and making sure that, we're putting up our firewalls in our communities.
Oh, and that was Powerhouse, right?
Powerhouse Creative, yeah.
Hell yeah. Awesome. Is there anything else?
Y'all
got an event coming up?
Yes. Good.
What?
Next Friday.
Yeah, we knew coming in. We saw the eyes.
Appreciate it. Same.
Follow the smoke trail.
My bad. So we have a party next Friday called Prom. Worldwide Art Federation presents Prom.
Oh, wow.
And it is basically a sneaker ball 90s party where the men dress up in suits with sneakers and the women dress up in pretty dresses with sneakers. You can wear corsages.
We're gonna have a prom and a king and queen.
Yep.
Ooh.
And occasional super principal is going to be acting.
I grew my hair
Like
on
a
everything,
dad?
son.
Oh, that's it.
So I'm showing the scout.
This is Friday, July 26th.
July 26th.
So it'll be probably when this episode drops.
Okay.
It'll be the same day. So if you hear this, go straight to it.
Yeah. It's 9. Yeah,
It's
9.
tonight.
It's 9 until.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll try to crank it out earlier, but
it's going to be the last event at Mint Gallery.
Yeah.
And it's sponsored by Tolero Tequila. They're making sure that we're going to be extra saucy.
Oh, there's going to be tequila there?
Tequila.
I can't be there. I can't.
What?
Me and tequila.
We going to have to pull you down.
Shit gets crazy.
Yo, they used to come.
Yeah, J Money comes.
Whoa, he needs to
J
come.
Money.
No, listen, we're taking y'all back to a time of like the early 90s, like kid and play house party. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's got to come.
We're going to bring back the slow jam.
Just
You know what I'm
cut
saying?
all this side off right here and just
Do it. All that. Do it.
I got it. I'm a little bit blacker.
Yo, you need to have a
What?
chain.
Black hair back. What happened? What?
Oh no, it's just I reside in Lawrenceville, Georgia, and they get on me all the time about living there. They just always call me conservative and stuff like that. It's a running joke. It's a running joke on the podcast. It's not like legit.
It's a running
He
statement.
was running around here like he had white privilege. We was trying to make sure he get
Oh, shit.
It's a joke.
Explain yourself.
He tried to pull y'all over.
Was he like,
Right?
is he like gentrifying your neighborhood or something? Or?
You like, nigga, we know
He
you.
tried to gentrify my house when they come over. I'm like, nigga, like
He was gentrifying
chill
his
out,
soul.
man.
How about gentrifying you?
Damn, you gentrified
It's
y'all.
mad Asian at your house. What are you talking about?
It is not. See,
She's not Asian. She's not Asian.
you about to get shot in the back.
She knows the way around the gun, though. I gotta go. It's been real on the show.
my
It's
God.
been real having y'all on.
my
I
God.
appreciate it. Thank you so much for allowing us to come in. Thank you so much for being a part of the donut. And we salute to you.
Thank y'all for, just being thoughtful enough to include us, because we're doing so much work on our end and we're always trying to, get everyone to support, but it's nice to know that it's working in other areas without us.
Yeah, we need
Yeah.
to talk about the other stuff we doing. Can't even talk about it.
Not yet.
No, it's
Oh, you can't
classified
talk about it.
information.
It's classified.
Can't even talk about
It's
it.
so
Well-
dope though when it drop, man. Y'all gonna be like, oh,
It'll be, oh!
Why didn't they tell us? Now my face is melted. No, but with your art, I love when you do the X-Men mashups, the superhero mashups. When I see it like that, immediately makes me think we are all X-Men. And just like X-Men, everybody can do something.
We the
Everybody can
original
do
mutants, huh?
their part. Exactly. It's very similar.
Believe it or not, I have like a whole show based on like the X-Men sort of comic book theme. I got a whole show. I was supposed to do it at the Center for Civil and Human Rights.
Seriously?
Canceled, yeah.
Are you still gonna do it?
Yeah, but not there though. But got a whole show, a whole
See,
series.
We're going to classify shit right now. We're going to classify.
Have you done comics? Have you drawn comics?
I'm working on a comic actually.
Are you working with Freako?
Oh no,
his own comics?
Nigga X, no. I fuck with it though, but no. That should be hilarious.
Yeah.
like.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
yeah, it was
Oh, yeah, he
Freako,
did,
The Filthy, and JR Iron Problem Outlaw.
Yup.
Awesome.
We did a collaborative building.
Awesome. Cool. All right. Well, thank you guys for being on the podcast. Talk to y'all later. Peace. Arf. Woo.
Thanks, y'all.
If you like that episode and you want to hear more of the Atlanta podcast, you can subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Podbean, Spotify.
Google Play.
We're on Google Play.
Yep.
We're on Google Play.
Oh shit.
And
Wait a minute. Do you have a? Oh,
also-
yeah, you don't have an iPhone. My bad.
ooh,
Everybody doesn't have an iPhone. Gentlemen.
Yeah, you're right. Only the people that matter.
well, whatever you're using, help us out. Leave a review.
Support.
Give us some stars. However the fuck they do it on whatever you're listening. And
Thumbs up.
follow us on Instagram.
Yes, please.
We have quite the following. You get some exclusive content on there.
videos from
Plus,
my
we have
shitty
our own Instagram
phone.
thought, Justin.
Yeah, we got an Instagram thought, Justin.
I be thotting.
Follow us at The Atlanta Podcast. See you next time.
Peace.